The law of acceleration states that the acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the net force acting on it and is inversely proportional to the object's mass. In equation, net force is equal to mass times acceleration. When we say the acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the net force, it means that when the force increases, the acceleration also increases. And when the force decreases, the acceleration of an object also decreases. When we say the acceleration is inversely proportional to the object's mass, it means that an object with a lesser mass have greater acceleration, while a more massive object have less acceleration. These are the symbols we are going to use in the following formulas. For acceleration, small letter A. For the net force, capital letter F. And for the mass, small letter M. Take note of the following formulas. For the force, F equals m times A. For acceleration, A equals F divided by m. And for the mass, m equals F divided by A. Study the table 1. Units for mass, acceleration, and force. Let's have sample problem number 1. A 1,000 kilogram truck is traveling at an acceleration of 4.5 meter per second squared east. Find the net force needed to accelerate the truck. In order to solve this kind of problem, you have to remember the following steps. 1. Identify the given. 2. Write what is required or being asked. 3. Write the equation. 4. Solution. You have to substitute the given to the equation. And lastly, compute for your final answer. So, ang unang step is identify the given. Dito sa problem, we have 1,000 kilograms. You have to put 1,000 kilograms. Kapag ang unit ay kilogram, that is pertaining to the mass of an object. So, mass is equal to 1,000 kilograms. Meron din ditong 4.5 meter per second squared. So, you put 4.5 meter per second squared. Kapag ang unit meter per second squared, that is pertaining to, correct, acceleration. Next step, write what is required or being asked. So, ang question is, find the net force needed to accelerate the truck. So, ang required is the net force. You have to write net force. Pangatlong step, write the equation. So, ano nga ba ang formula para sa net force? Okay, tama. The net force is equal to mass times acceleration. Fourth step, solution. So, ang gagawin dito sa solution, you are going to substitute yung given ito, the mass and acceleration, dito sa formula. Okay? So, you are going to write F or net force equals M. Ang value ng M ay 1,000 kilograms times ang value ng A is 4.5 meter per second squared. So, ita-times mo lang yan, 1,000 kilograms times 4.5 meter per second squared at ang final answer ay 4,500 kilogram meter per second squared or 4,500 Newton. Because remember, 1 Newton is equal to 1 kilogram meter per second squared. Kaya pareho lang yan. Sample problem number 2. A boy rolls a 200-gram baseball horizontally on the floor with a net force of 2 newtons to the right. What is the acceleration of the baseball? Okay, ang first step is to identify the given. We have 200 grams. That is the mass of the baseball. And we have 2 newton. That is the net force. Bago mag-proceed sa required, i-convert muna natin ang 200 grams into kilograms. So ito ang conversion. 200 grams, we convert it in kilogram. 1 kilogram ay equivalent sa 1,000 grams. So cancel out ang grams, ang may iwan ay kilograms. So 200 times 1 divided by 1,000. And the answer is 0.2 kilogram. Step 2. Required. Ano nga ba ang hinahanap sa problem? What is the acceleration of the baseball? So ang required ay acceleration. Step 3. Equation. Isulat ninyo ang formula para sa acceleration. Acceleration is equal to force divided by mass. Step 4. Solution. I-substitute natin ang given doon sa formula. So, ang value ng force is 2 Newton at ang value ng mass is 0.2 kilogram. Para ma-cancel out ang unit, expand natin ang Newton. So, that is equal to kilogram meter per second squared. Cancel out ang kilogram, ang may iwan is meter per second squared. So 2 divided by 0.2 is equal to 10. So ang acceleration ng baseball is 10 meter per second squared. That is your final answer. Sample problem number 3. A box is pushed with an applied force of 20 Newton parallel to the floor. It accelerated at 1.5 meter per second squared to the right. A parallel applied force of 10 Newton on the opposite side slowed down the motion of the box. Neglecting the friction, what is the mass of the box? Okay, let's identify the given. We have 20 Newton, which is applied on the box, that is the force. And we also have 1.5 meter per second squared, that is the acceleration of the box. And another 10 Newton on the opposite side. Since opposite yung force na yan, we write negative 10 Newton. That is also another force. Before we proceed sa step 2, i-compute muna natin yung kanyang net force. So to compute for the net force, i-add lang natin yung dalawang force. We have 20 Newton plus negative 10 Newton. And the answer is positive 10 Newton. That is the net force on the box. Next step, we have the required. Ano nga ba ang hinahanap? So, the question is, what is the mass of the box? So, ang required is the mass. Okay? And then next step, you write the formula or equation for the mass. So, mass is equal to force divided by acceleration. Then, step 4, i-substitute natin ang given. Ilan ang value ng force? That is 10 Newton. Okay? And ang value ng acceleration is 1.5 meter per second squared. Para ma-cancel out ang unit, i-expand natin yung unit ng Newton. That is kilogram meter per second squared. So, cancel out ang meter per second squared, ang maiiwan na lang is kilograms. So, 10 divided by 1.5 is equal to 6.67 kilograms. So, ang mass ng box is 6.67 kilograms, and that is your final answer. Force of gravity or weight. What is the difference between mass and weight? When we say mass, it is the amount of matter of an object. It is measured in terms of kilograms, while weight is equal to the mass times acceleration due to gravity. Here on Earth, the acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second squared. It is represented by small letter g. Weight is measured in terms of Newton or kilogram meter per second squared. Let's have an example. This boy has a mass of 40 kilograms. What is his weight? Weight is equal to mass times acceleration due to gravity. The mass of the boy is 40 kilograms times 9.8 meter per second squared. The gravity on Earth equals 392 kilogram meter per second squared or 392 Newton. Now, it's your turn. Solve these two problems by using the following steps. See Module 2, page 17 for a clear copy. Good luck! What is it? The third law of motion. The law of interaction states that for every action, there is always an equal and opposite reaction. A force exerted on an object is always exerted back by an equal amount of force but in opposite direction. This is what we call the action-reaction pair. Let's have a situation. A boy pushing a wall. The action is the boy pushes the wall. And the reaction is the wall exerts an equal and opposite force to the boy. Now, let's check comprehension.